morning, Grizzlies. I'm Tegan.
And I'm Lily. Okay. Hey, Grizzlies, let's dive into some world news, shall we? The federal government remains shut down for an 8th consecutive day as Congress continues to clash over spending and healthcare funding. Nearly 900,000 federal workers are laid off, as President Trump would say, "You're fired," while hundreds of thousands more are working without pay. Essential services like air traffic control and law enforcement are still operating, but national parks and many agencies like that remain closed. Now, economics estimate the shutdown is costing the U.S. billions of dollars each week, and no deal is currently in sight, even as the Congress is controlled heavily by the right, and blame is still being pointed to the radical left. Now, since we have not had a government shutdown in 2019, which was under President Trump's first term as president, and that lasted 35 days, we are hoping that this one will be a little shorter. But for now, lawmakers in both parties say that they're still negotiating, but until an agreement is reached, the government will remain partially closed. In other news, tragedy struck Manchester, England on October 2nd when a man drove into worshippers outside the Heaton Park Hebrew congregation during Yom Kippur, a holiday all about self-atonement and reflection of sin. The man then attacked Jewish ongoers with a knife, and 2 people were killed. One was by the attacker, and the other accidentally by police gunfire as officers responded. The suspect, identified as Jahid al-Shamin, was shot dead at the scene after pledging allegiance to ISIS during the assault. Now, British Prime Minister called the act vile and was deemed a terrorist-motivated attack, and vowed stronger protection for the Jewish communities. In other world news, 22-year-old Swedish activist Greta Thunberg and dozens of others were detained this week after Israeli forces intercepted the global flota attempting to break the blockade of Gaza and assist and provide aid to the people of Palestine. After the interception, Thunberg was dragged by her hair, beaten, and forcibly made to kiss the Israeli flag, and paraded while wrapped in the flag as a means of public humiliation, as many eyewitnesses account. Now, Israel's foreign ministry strongly denies the allegations, saying all detainees' rights were upheld. Thunberg was then since deported and arrived in Greece with other activists, with her latest statement being keep your eyes on Gaza, which, speaking of, as of yesterday, a ceasefire has been signed by world leaders with the Israeli government and Hamas agreeing, and more will unfold as the story goes. But as now, we are hopeful that this will be soon to end. Okay, that's all we have of world, so we're going to send it over to local with Tegan.
Oregon remains in national news headlines as a federal judge nominated by Trump sides with the state in temporary rulings. On October 4th, U.S. District Judge Karen Immerget blocked the administration from deploying the Oregon National Guard into Portland. But that Sunday, October 5th, the president made moves to send National Guard troops from California and Texas to Portland. It was then when Immerget issued a pressing and final order, after reprimanding the federal government's attorney and questioned how the move to send California and Texas troops to Oregon was not in direct contravention of the order that was issued yesterday. In other local news, a recent roundtable has lawmakers talking about positive impacts of the statewide phone-free executive order placed by Governor Tina Kotek this summer. State leaders have said they have noticed students interacting more when phones are off and away for the day. Some speakers even notice more laughter in the halls. State officials believe cell phone policy will positively impact mental health and academics. Now, over to Karsten.
Okay, I don't know about the phone policy thing, but I do know that it's the MLB playoffs season and NFL Week 6. So that's not important right now because the Mariners are in and they might lose because they just lost the game last night. Anyway, back to this. The Phillies, in a surprise upset, took out the LA Dodgers last night and are now 2-1. They might pull through. I don't think they will. LA Dodgers only have to win one more game. They have to win 2 in a row. Same thing with the Brewers. The Cubs, in a surprise upset, won the 3rd game, staying in the NLCS. And then over here, we have the Toronto. They finally beat the Yankees. They're moving out of the ALCS And as I said earlier, the Mariners and Detroit Tigers are tied up, and the last game will be played in Seattle tomorrow at 5:08. Turn on your TVs, because that might be the last time in 20 years we see the Mariners in, which is unfortunate. All right, now on to entertainment with Cody.
Thank you. And hello, Grizzlies, and welcome back to Entertainment. For our first story, it's Taylor Swift. Who could have guessed? She has released her newest album, The Life of a Showgirl, on October 3rd and has made 34 million and set a new record for first week album release. In other news, the Super Bowl halftime show. Wait, what? That's right. Bad Bunny was supposed to do the Super Bowl show for next year in 2026, but they have refused to let him because they do not want him to sing in Spanish. And for our final story, a K-pop group, Twice, is going to release their newest album, The Story Goes On, for the 10th anniversary on October 10th. Happy anniversary to them, and off to weather.
I'm Danielle here with the weather report, and it is finally that time of the year where it's most enjoyable in my opinion. Right now we're looking at mostly 60 or more degrees here for the rest of the week, and it's going to be pretty cloudy as well. You guys might want to turn your heaters on and grab a blanket. There are going to be some rain showers throughout, so best bring umbrellas, coats, and don't slip where you walk. That'll be very bad. This will be a repeating cycle as the month goes on, and if anything changes, we will be one of the first to know and notify. Well, this is surely going to be a very good season for anyone done with the annoying heat wave or already getting into the spooky month. Now, back to desk.
That's been all. Thank you for watching.
And we hope to see you next time, Grizzlies.